So I have a business of about, at the moment, it's 13 people who work for me. That's including my now wife. And the question I have for you is I'm getting to the point of where I am just struggling to keep up with the numbers aspect of the whole business.
Mm-hmm.
And I am wondering if I should invest in my wife and have her go to or get some type of accounting degree so she could be my accountant, or if I should look elsewhere, have her do what she wants to do if she wants to do something else. Well, really, she kind of does, but or if I should look elsewhere and get somebody else to work for it or work towards that.
What's your top line?
Say that again? I'm sorry.
What's your gross revenues a year?
This past year, I brought in, the business brought in 780. And then this year, what we just projected is probably going to be just under $1 million. I think it brought out to 977.
And you got 13 people full time?
Yeah, full time.
Is payroll not eating all the $1 million?
Well, so the payroll, I've 13 not full time, 10 are full time, 3 are part time. No, payroll is not eating the whole $1 million, actually. I think our highest paid employee at the moment is 80, and he's been with us for about 4 years now. And then our lowest paid is 61. Let me look at this. Yeah, 61.
Well, 7 times 10 is 700, and that's your average.
I know.
700 out of $1 million is payroll's eating all your $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, are you profitable?
Yeah, I'm doing well for myself.
What do you guys do? What kind of business?
We are fence installers.
Fence installers?
Yes, sir.
So the $1 million includes the purchase of the raw goods to build the fence, too?
No, sir. $1 million is straight profit for everything.
Oh, I asked you what your gross revenues are.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, let me look at this. It is 1 second. It is 1.75 for the last year.
Now I can breathe. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't.
That's okay.
That was on my.
No, okay. Yes, you obviously need an accountant. You don't need to be doing it.
Oh yeah, I've been nervous off.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm messing with you, but yeah. The accountants will help you with the difference in gross and net and all that, or gross profit and net. So gross revenue is the total dollars brought into the organization minus cost of goods sold is gross profit. Minus all expenses is net profit. That's your terminology, okay?
Oh, okay. All
right. Now, so what I did at your size, and it was an excellent move, and it was 26 years ago, and she still works for me. I hired a controller, which is not as high a person as a chief financial officer, a CFO. You're not at a level you need a CFO, but you need something more than just a quote-unquote bookkeeper. You need an upscale bookkeeper, which is a controller. Does that make sense? And
yes,
this
sir.
is probably a $70,000 a year position in your company, I'm guessing, but you can do a little bit of investigation as to what it'll take to hire a good controller in your area. Now, they will do the books, but they'll also come in and make suggestions to you and say, okay, we're not making good margin on this item. This item is very profitable. We ought to do more of it. We've got too much payroll. No, we shouldn't hire somebody else, that kind of thing. Okay?
Right.
And so are you paying your wife a salary?
Not technically, but I just added it to mine because of the weird way that Texas does it.
I got you. So you've added how much to yours for her?
60 something, I believe.
Okay. So when she goes and does something else, is that inside the company for the same amount, or does that is that money going to help be gone and she's going to be working somewhere else?
I think she's wanting to work somewhere else.
Okay.
Or actually, I know she's wanting to work somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah, if you got a controller for 60 or 70 and you could reduce your cost that you're paying your wife by 60 or 70, then you kind of broke even, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, it does.
And then your wife gets to go do what she wants. Your household income goes up because she's going to go bring in more money.
Right.
At the other thing, I hope. And then you've got this going. And then, yeah, it's the thing that I find with people in and around the construction world, which is where you're building fences, okay, is that if you start doing your accounting like your life depended on it, if you start pushing every little freaking detail and managing every little thing, the numbers will talk to you about the weaknesses and the strengths in the business, the areas you should expand, the types of jobs you should never do again, and you'll probably end up installing some basic estimating software that treats each job as a separate profit and loss to where you can tell from each job, okay, we estimated it at this, we thought we were going to make profit of X, instead we made profit of Z, and here's what happened, because you're looking at that job as a standalone job. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
When you start doing that detailed analysis on a regular basis, it's going to make the quality of your estimating go up, because the mistakes that you're making in estimating are going to be revealed in the completed job, and you'll take that piece of accounting information from this controller that I'm talking about and use it to adjust your processes that you're using on estimating, because they forgot to put in whatever, X or Y, or they forgot to put in something into the estimate, and so the job ends up not being as profitable because it should have been a little higher price. And so then the next job is profitable because you put in the proper things and you learned that from the last job that didn't go well. You're not getting any of that information now because you're running this thing out of your hip pocket.
Yeah. A lot of this estimation comes from me going out there and just writing it down on a piece of paper what I'm looking at. And
exactly. Your gut instinct is good because it's gotten you to $1.7 million. I mean, you're doing a good job.
Oh, yeah.
So that's there's not, I'm not criticizing that, but what I'm telling you is your profitability on no more dollars will go way up simply by managing the accounting better, because the accounting will speak to you. And I think sometimes looking at a P&L or looking at an estimating, the data that comes off an estimating software is like reading the tea leaves. It's like, oh, well, look at there's where we are. I had no idea. I sort of thought I knew, but now I really know. And now we're not doing that anymore. And no, and you may want to change even some comp plans where people get compensated a little differently based on the job once you've got this stuff dialed in. It's a lot of fun to do that. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick you into our elite program for 1 year as a gift, because I really like where you are right now, like where your head is, and they're going to help you complete the things that I just recommended and make sure that that stuff gets in place, okay?
All right. I really appreciate that.
Sure. EntreLeadership Elite, folks. It's $250 a month is all, $3,000 a year. But you get plugged into our whole EntreLeadership system, and it's going to make sure that all of you are doing the right things you're doing at the level you are to level up to the next level. Because what happens in business is the more efficient you get, the better you get at running the business. Not only the more profitable you are per unit, per dollar, your margins go up, but also the joy and the lack of stress. The joy goes up, stress goes down. And so that's what we want for all of you out there. Certainly want that for Colton today. And he has no idea how awesome his life is going to be when he actually gets the accounting working, because he's completely running this thing on a guess. And that's just, it's gonna kill him eventually. But right now, it's causing him stress that he doesn't even realize is there. But man, when you start getting those reports and you start looking at them, you start understanding them, say, this is where the money's going, this is where the money comes from, then you go, oh, wow. It starts telling you how to run your business. It gives you insights, business insights. So it's absolutely vital that you really do the details on your accounting, folks. It's a big, big deal. So very, very cool. Love it. Love a guy like Colton out there in America getting it done, man. He's not unemployed. No, he employs people. He builds fences in Houston, Texas. $1.7 million worth. Well, that's a stud.